We have a very big program here today. After 11 o'clock performance, you're all welcome to stick around and stay, watch here. I'll explain a little bit as we go along. So I'd like to say welcome to the Indian Village. My name is John Buck, from the Onondaga Nation of the Beaver Clan, the MC. I gotta say welcome. We come here every year. We are sponsored by the Six Nation Agricultural Society. We are the people responsible for bringing our singers, dancers, our craft people, and our workers here to our Indian Village every year. We come from the 7 major reservations, still here in New York State. In case you don't know where they are, I'll give you a quick rundown of our reservations. Starting with the Mohawks, located up near Messina, New York, Hogansburg, the Oneidas near Oneida, New York, the Onondagas located just south of Syracuse, New York here. Out west we have our Seneca Reservation, Cattaraugus being the largest, located about 30 miles south of Buffalo, New York, and between Irving and Gwinnett, New York. And we have the Allegheny Reservation located near the New York State-Pennsylvania border, near Salamanca, New York. And the Tonawanda Senecas are located near Akron, New York, and Basin. And the Tuscarora Reservation located near Niagara Falls. There are 7 major reservations, still here in New York State. And our people come from all air, right here, I said, by the Six Nation Agricultural Society. Our Cayugas, right now, are located with the Cattaraugus Reservation, so they are represented here. And being that this is the year of the Cayugas, the Cayuga Nation selected our Indian princes. I like that. When the singers and dancers come up, I'll introduce the princess, and I just see the signal from our dancers, so, okay, here they come. Singer, our lead singer, his name's Al George. He's a Cayuga of the Bear Clan. Assisting Al is Stanley Buck. He's also Cayuga of the Turtle Clan. The lead dancer following the singer is Jesse George, the Seneca of the Turtle Clan. So let's welcome up here onto the Turtle Mound our singers and dancers for 1995. Alrighty, this is the way we welcome you to our village, officially our welcome song and dance. Like I mentioned, this is the year of the Cayugas. They get to select our princess for this year. So at this time, I would like to bring out our princess. She's from the Cayuga Nation. Her name is Miss Amanda McDade.
my name is Dave. I'm 15 years old and like welcoming the earcom. My future plans are to be a marine biologist and go to Cornell. And again, I think the earcom and visit the staff very nice.
All right. Our dances we do up here are social dances. We don't do our ceremonial, religious, or sacred dances we do at the Longhouse. These are just social dances. Dances and songs are handed down from generations to generations. Some are well over 1,000 years old. And there's like about 30 to 40 songs to a dance. So we give you a little cut-down version, like 1 or 2, sometimes 3 songs a dance. So at this time, I would like to bring out our women. We have a matriarch system in our society. That means the women are the head of our household. They are clan mothers. They lay down some of our laws, and they also select chiefs. So we honor our women with a women's dance. That's by our Indian princess, but it's a special dance. But we dance a little bit different than the men. And the most important part of this dance is the footwork. You watch the footwork, how they kind of caress the back of the turtle, or we dance on the ground, Mother Earth. Women's dance in honor of our women and yours. set the tempo of the beat, the music. Old time moccasin there. Dancers a few minutes to catch their breath for the next dance. We'd like to give you a quick rundown of our village. As I mentioned, we are sponsored by the Six Nation Agriculture Society. Yeah, like I said, they bring the people here, our craft people, our dancers, our workers, and they run the village. So being that we're agriculturists, being farmers, our main building on your right is our agriculture building. Up in there, you can see that people that still farm bring their vegetables and fruits and bring on this for display at our agriculture building. That's the first longhouse on my right over here. The next one up top corner, that's our homemakers building, where the women bring their sewing, canning, blankets, quilt making. Dale, visit Dale Solomon, he's the curator up there. Talk to Dale, so he'll explain what's out in the building. Our next major longhouse, that's our Six Nation craft building. Craft people in there from all the Six Nations. Then we go on to our next longhouse. That's the Patterson building. That's our arts and crafts building. We have artwork there from all the 7 reservations on display in there to be judged. Some of them have already been judged, I understand. Also in that building, we have a very gifted Native American artist. Some of you people may have heard of him, in case you don't. His name is Eli Thomas from the Onondaga Nation. Woo! All right. He's a very gifted artist. Stop in, say hello to Eli. He has his paintings in there demonstrating. Has some paintings for sale. Stop in, say hello to Eli. Curator in there is Virginia Snow. She'll explain all the artwork in the building. He's also a very gifted bead worker. Our next major building is what we call our women's work building. We have all the Six Nations in there, women doing different various styles of craft, beadwork. And we have the basket maker in there. She's from the Mohawk Nation. And our cookhouse, where we have traditional foods of our two variations of corn soup. We have what we call the Mohawk corn soup and the Onondaga corn soup. They're both very good. Welcome to try either one. We also have hot scones, or some people call it fry bread, as well as American food, as I call it. Any people interested in tuning up your hunting skills for this fall, we have archery over behind the buildings over here, the little booth. Even the women are welcome to try it. Archery, bow and arrows. Also in the far corner, we have our wood carver named Harold Farmer. Stop in, say hello to Harold. Sometimes he has sassafras tea and mint tea. Stop in, say hello to Harold. And all our little craft booths you see here. The three located on my right, these are the Seneca people from all three Seneca reservations. Start on my left, we start with the Cayugas, the Onondagas, the Oneidas, Tuscaroras located back by the Patterson building, and the Mohawks located up by the Homemakers building. That's a quick rundown of our village. We welcome after the dance to browse around, talk to the people. We'll talk to you. Okay, back to some dancing. All right, this one here, by rights, we honor nature in our culture, so we kind of base our dance around Mother Nature's creatures. This one here, we call this the Robin Dance. Our next dance, we'd like to bring them out. We call this, learn to call the little dance, we call this the backward forward dance. rundown of the dancers get their breath for a minute. Starting at 1 o'clock today, we have the Onondaga Nation School Band up here. And at 2 o'clock, we have the Iroquois Band will be taking over up here on Turtle Mountain. We have a big dance contest. It's going to be started at 3 o'clock. We're up here in the mountain. Then at 4 o'clock, we are having a very special program honoring the Navajo Code Talkers. These are veterans of the foreign wars. They'll be coming up here, the color guard. We're honoring them because they still use Native American language in the armed services. And we'd like to honor them today. And right after that, we'll try to get supposed to be our 4 o'clock show, but we'll be right after the Navajo Code Talkers program. Then 7 o'clock tonight, we'll be back up here for another dance program. That's a quick rundown. But for our next dance, I'd like to call up Norm Jimerson. He is going to do some singing here. He's going to be singing at our dance contest at 3 o'clock. So he's going to be singing some smoke dance songs. This is what we use for our dance contest. Before we start doing some dancing, I'd like to welcome all our people, our brothers and sisters, the seniors that just come here to the village. I would say, welcome. We have busloads here coming in. I understand there's already a couple buses in. All our people, I'd like to say welcome to the village. Right now, I'd like to bring out smoke dances here. I'd like to bring out some Onondagas, some Tuscarora, and ladies too. Norman Jimerson, by the way, is the superintendent here in the village on the Onondaga Nation. Okay, let's see. Let's bring out the Mohawks here. Seneca. Woo, here you go. All right, now we're bringing out our Oneidas and our Cayugas. That's pretty bad. He's not bad for almost 80 years old. All right, now bring them all back out here. One big smoke dance. Ooh, ooh. afternoon at 3 o'clock. And not be just these dancers, there we have some other people coming up that's going to dance. It's a competition. It's an open competition, so all our people come up and dance. 3 o'clock, we have a big dance contest here. I can say NYS to Norman. He's going to be the singing. He's going to do the singing at the contest time. Okay. That kind of brings our program down here for this time. I guess this gives the dancers a rest because they're going to be busy this afternoon. But like I said, we have a big program here. Starting 1 o'clock, the Onondaga Nation School Band's here. Iroquois Band at 2 o'clock. Dance contest at 3. Navajo Code Talkers at 4. We'll have another program right after that. And 7 o'clock tonight, another dance, our regular program. Right now, this is our farewell song and dance. Program starting 1 o'clock. From then on, there'll be programs going around every hour up here on the Onegiwahe. Till we meet again. Ona.
World War II, the ones that protected our right to be exactly who we are today and gives us the many rights that we've enjoyed since that time. To our visitors from Russia, we want to welcome you here to our land. This is our land. We want to welcome you here and tell you how great joy it brings to us that at this time, our countries, we can visit each other the way that you're here. The past is gone. It's a canceled check. We can all look forward to building good lives in the future. So we welcome you here. We have great honor to have this color guard here with us. And your speaker is with us also. Sergeant, the microphone is yours.
I'd like to thank you for having us here today. This is the sacred mound that we're speaking from today. This is a sacred mound here, I was told. We're here today to mark the 50th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. Together with representatives of the great country of Russia, one of our allies in that struggle, we gather under the watchful eye of God to give honor to a group of Native Americans whose efforts on behalf of victory. World War II was not an easily won war. The United States was not in the war officially until the attack on our Navy in Hawaii by Japan on December 7, 1941. Other nations, though, had been at war in Europe for some time before that. In 1939, Germany attacked Poland and started the aggression which resulted in the conquest of France, Czechoslovakia, Holland, Norway, Austria, and North Africa. The only countries that remained to be conquered by Germany in Europe were Great Britain and Russia. Being an island, the defeat of Great Britain presented considerable problems to Germany. The German army had the English Channel to cross before they could establish a beachhead. The German Air Force had to win the air war before land operations could begin. What the Germans did not realize, however, was that the British were reading every secret German message being sent. The Germans called their precious code machine Enigma, and they had spent millions of dollars developing it. They were completely sure that no one could understand what they were saying. The British called these intercepted German messages Ultra. This knowledge, combined with the courage of British pilots, the home chain of British early warning radar stations, was what saved Great Britain from defeat and forced Germany to turn its attentions toward the conquest of Russia. After America entered the war in 1941, and together with our mighty ally Russia, began to squeeze the Germans from both the East and the West, the war in Europe took an unstoppable turn toward the defeat of Hitler. The war in the Pacific, however, was not so predictable for several reasons. The terrain was made up of island groups, which acted as supply depots for the Japanese forces. Other than these islands, the road to victory in the Pacific was not made of earth, but of thousands of square miles of water, controlled by the Japanese Navy. Since messages could not be hand-delivered over these great expanses of water efficiently, radio message traffic played an even greater role in the Pacific War than in the European War. It was vital that Allied messages not be deciphered as the German and Japanese messages had been. The most important code that the United States forces had in the Pacific was devised by an elite corps of Native Americans from the Navajo Nation in 1942. It is important to understand that although our enemies' codes were broken very early in World War II, this Navajo code was never broken during the entire war. When the United States was plunged into the war, a call to arms was issued. Navajos, together with Native Americans throughout the country, flocked to recruiting stations. Navajos were among the New Mexico National Guard members that endured the surrender of Bataan in the Philippines. They were also with the 45th Division that invaded Italy. Native Americans fought in every theater of that war, from the Aleutian Islands in Alaska to the South Pacific, and from the beaches of Normandy in France to North Africa. Who we are honoring today, though, at this 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, here at the 1995 New York State Fair, concerns that first group of Navajo Marines, the 382nd Platoon. They were ordered to make a code, and the code they created remains one of the few unbroken codes in military history. Using Native American language to pass secret radio messages was not an altogether new idea. It had its first test of battle during the First World War, when Navajo members of American and Canadian forces sent messages to each other. In 1942, Navajo code teams added the words to their language that were necessary to provide secure battlefield communication. More than 3,600 Navajos served in World War II, but only 420 became code talkers, serving in all 6 Marine divisions in the Pacific. They baffled the Japanese with a hodgepodge of everyday Navajo and created some 400 new words just to fit the situation of the battlefield. In 1942, mostly only scientists wrote Navajo. On the reservation, the language was mostly a spoken one. The Navajo code talkers decided to keep it that way. There would be no code books for the enemy to steal, no mathematical shifting and substituting of numbers and letters. Navajo is a tonal language. Its vowels rise and fall, changing meaning with pitch. A single Navajo verb containing its own subjects, objects, and adverbs can translate an entire sentence in English. In Navajo, one writer noted, words paint a picture in your mind. For the code, the Navajo turned not to math and machines, but to nature. They created a new alphabet composed of the names of animals and plants in Navajo to spell out proper nouns. They pulled from the rich vocabulary of Native American design, which inspires everything from the names and models of American cars, such as Pontiac, Chieftain, Cherokee, Comanche, Apache, contemporary American clothes design, to American serious and popular music. When the code was finished, Navy intelligence officers spent 3 weeks trying and failing to decipher a single message. Even new Navajo recruits untrained in the code, could not decipher it. Yet it still seemed too simple to some military officials to be completely trusted. Navajos were encoding and deciphering secret messages almost instantly. How could this be? Well, in Navajo, everything is in memory, explained William McCabe, one of the code's designers. From the prayers, songs, everything, it's all in memory. After each graduation from the code school, 2 code talkers from each class stayed behind to train the next group. Assigned to 4 separate regiments on Guadalcanal, the code talkers met fresh skepticism. One colonel agreed to use the code only if it won a man versus code machine test. The Navajo code talkers easily won. On Rabaul, code talkers loaned to the Navy kept the Japanese from learning of impending air attacks. On Saipan, an advancing American battalion was shelled from behind by friendly fire. Desperate messages were sent out to hold your fire, but the Japanese had imitated Marine broadcasts all day long, and the Marine gun crews weren't sure who to believe. The shelling continued. Finally, headquarters asked, "Do you have a Navajo?" A single Navajo sent the message back to his buddy, and the shelling stopped. Eventually, Navajo code talkers became so valuable that they were given their own bodyguards. Working around the clock during the first 2 days on Iwo Jima, 6 networks of Navajo code talkers transmitted more than 800 secret messages without a single error. In the month-long battle for Iwo Jima, 3 code talkers were killed. But by the time their code spelled out Mount Suribachi, they had at last convinced all skeptics. Signal Officer Major Howard Connor recalled, "Without the Navajos, the Marines would never have taken Iwo Jima." After the war, the code talkers remained top secret. Even the families of code talkers killed in action were not aware of their son's secret mission during the war. Asked about the war, code talkers simply stated, "I was a radio man." War movies and histories poured forth without ever mentioning them. But by linking the people, the Diné, to the world beyond the reservation, Navajo vets had changed the Navajo Nation forever. A few remained in the Marines and fought in Korea and Vietnam, but the code has never been used again. It was finally declassified in 1968, and only then did the secret come out. The first Code Talker reunion in 1969 brought nationwide attention. In 1982, President Ronald Reagan named August 14th National Navajo Code Talker Day. 10 years later, Keith Little, a prominent Navajo Code Talker, was invited to the Pentagon. There he translated a prayer for peace phoned in by a code talker in Arizona. Simple but efficient, the code still worked. Then Mr. Little and other code talkers helped to dedicate a permanent exhibit on the code talkers. And so we honor today all teachers and students of Native American language and culture here at Haudenosaunee Village, and pray that Native American wisdom will continue to guide us as a nation, even as it did during our founding when Benjamin Franklin proclaimed that the Haudenosaunee League contained many of the democratic principles which were used to frame our Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to introduce Ms. Tamara Noroshenko from the Russian delegation to say a few words on behalf of her country, Russia.
Thank you. We're so happy to be here with you on this important day when you celebrate the 50th anniversary of victory over fascism. On the 9th of May, the same event took place in Moscow, and it was the 50th anniversary of Russian victory over fascism was widely celebrated in Moscow. Many people, many veterans came to Red Square, came to other places of interest to get together, to sing old songs, and to remember those awful days which American and Russian people suffered 50 years ago. And the men who are with me, they're unfortunately too young to participate in the war as soldiers, but one of the men witnessed the meeting of American and Soviet soldiers on the river Elba when the great victory took place. And again, if Maybe he'll tell you a few words, if you don't mind, and I'll interpret them for you. Do we have 2 more minutes? Okay. Thank you. Okay. We'll speak in turn.
Уважаемые американцы,
We are honored to be here with you.
я очень
Now.
счастлив находиться на американской земле в эти торжественные дни празднования 50-летия победы над фашистской Германией.
He is very happy, he is very lucky to be here with you when you celebrate this important event, the victory of fascism over Germany.
Я был мальчишкой и сам испытал все горести войны.
He was a boy at that time and he experienced the burden of the war.
Отец мой погиб, сражаясь за родину.
His father died fighting for his motherland.
Братья и сестры работали на вооруженных заводах.
His brothers and sisters worked at military plants to produce weapons for the Soviet army.
А я во время бомбежек на крышах домов тушил зажигательные бомбы.
And during the bomb raids, he was on the roofs of the houses and he extinguished the bombs, not not the fire to go on. Excuse my English.
Но мне потом посчастливилось после войны бывать в Берлине, в Потсдаме, на Эльбе, там, где было это немецкое гнездо.
And after the war, he managed to see all those places, all these sites where the Germans, where all these important events took place, on the river Elbe, at Potsdam.
Эльба — это та река, где наши русские войска встретились с американскими войсками и подружились навеки.
Elbe, the Elbe River, is the place where the American soldiers and the Russian soldiers met together and became friends.
Там стоит постамент, посвященный этому месту.
And there is a wonderful monument commemorating that event.
9 мая наша страна, Россия, праздновала, очень широко праздновала праздник победы над фашистской Германией.
Я же говорила об этом.
Очень приятно.
And he is very pleased to be here with you, and we hope that another war will never break out. And let's pray for it. Thank you very much. And if two big nations
Thank you very much.
will fight for peace, the war won't take place, I'm sure. Thank you.
Большое спасибо.
Thank you very much. I can't pass this opportunity. I want you to explain to the two gentlemen what I'm going to say now. The rest of them should understand what I'm saying. We've been trying to teach our global community for at least 300 years that if you really are intent on stopping war, you will allow the women at least one time to select your leaders, because they will select somebody that will not choose war as an alternative to conflict. That has been our way for at least 1,000 years. And so a message that I want you to take back to Russia, and you military people, take this back to Washington and tell Mr. Clinton that if they're intent on maintaining peace, that we're in a new order now, and women are going to have to be given a much more important role, as they have in our culture for 1,000 years. I want to add this, that are we not lucky as a country to have such a country, and to have individuals and a diversity that maintained itself regardless of how hard mainstream tried to terminate? Did you know that in the late 1800s, it was the policy of the federal government to bring to an end the cultures of the indigenous people in this country? If they had been successful, I'm not sure what would have happened during World War II, because if our federal government had been successful in eliminating our languages, who would have been able to come forward with the code that was unbreakable by the Japanese? So what we owe to that, a recognition certainly is to the tenacity of indigenous peoples ourselves. And for that we have Sunguya Dizon to thank. Yawahago Sunguya Dizon. So we thank you. We're very proud to have you here. And in a reverent way, we are going to have you join us. For the past 2 summers, I've traveled to some of our Western brothers. I've learned some of their songs. I'm going to sing an honor song to the people who have gone to the spirit world, whether it be at war or in peace. It's going to be honor of all human beings across our global community who are now in the spirit world, hoping that we will do things differently. We'd like to thank all of you for being here with us for this very special moment. It is the only time that this will happen. But we will see you again at 7 o'clock for a regular dance program. We want you to enjoy yourself here while you're at the Great New York State Fair, and have a safe afternoon here in a beautiful Indian village, our land. Onagiwahi. who's going to judge that? We'll just keep dancing and dancing. The last one standing will win. Now we come to the senior men, 15 and over, senior men. Senior, old-timer seniors, right here, all of them. I don't know what we're going to do. What we can do, you know, I don't even know how to start this right now because, let me tell you, to judge and select 3 out of that group, and 3 out of the senior ladies group, and 3 out of the 2 junior groups is going to be a very difficult thing to do. I think the only way we can do this is to bring them back out, and I'm going to have them step out. Those junior men dancers line up right here, look, right here. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to have you step forward one time, and then I want you to applaud. And we're going to have to keep track because we want to get at least 5 from this first group. At least 5 right now who will go into the final round. All right, let's start at the other end. Yeah, start down there, John. Have them step out. 3 steps out. A round of applause for this dancer. Next dancer, step out. Hey, he's on a dog too. I vote for him. Oh, no. Next dancer, step out. Next dancer, step out. Nice buckskin outfit there. Next dancer, he's a hemlocker. Next dancer, step out. Next dancer, step out and applaud for who your choice is. Now, next dancer. All right, next dancer, step out, please. 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 Yeah. Next dancer, step out. That's a nice Gustova you got there. Next dancer, step out. Next dancer, step 3 steps forward. Next dancer, little guy, you gotta step out 4 steps. Next dancer, step right out there, poster man. Boy, you must have took a lot of girls on a ride. That's all I got to say. Next dancer, step out there. What a ham bone. He's like his mom. I want you to know that. All right, you guys can step back. I'll step back. And I'll meet with the singers. I might add this, that if we can't decide who wins, all the money goes to the MC and to the singers. All right, young ladies. The young ladies line up right here. 5 guys in that group. Tell them to help do that after. Young ladies line up right here on this line. Those beavers always get up in the front there. All right, right here. All right. From the other end, first dancer, step out, please. Next young lady. Next young lady. my mohawk niece right there. Next young lady. All right. Next young lady. Next young lady. Next young lady. And the next young lady. Yeah, that's nice. Next young lady, step out, please. You're all winners, so I want you to know. Next young lady, step out, please. And the next young lady. The next young lady. And, hey, step out there, Chief. All right. Step, next young lady. The next young lady. Ooh, next young lady. She's not only a good dancer, she's a good speller. Next young lady. And the next young lady. And the last young lady. Okay, you got to step back. We'll do the men, then we'll have the conference a bit, and we'll line them up, and we'll have to bring young men dancers, adult young dancers, line up right here. Would you kids right in the front? Would you please slip back down the hill there? John said he'll give you money to go on rides if you'll leave. The Metro bus. All right, senior men dancers, they all out there? First dancer on the end, step forward, please. Ooh. Next dancer, step forward. Next dancer, step forward. Next dancer, step forward. Next dancer, step forward. Next dancer. He's the mayor of South End. Next dancer, step forward. And that bell's got him good luck. Next dancer. And the next dancer, the last of the senior dancers. Well, now we're going to have the conference. Norman, John.
My honey.
The little guys line up again here, please. And now we're judging by the way that you applauded for them. And we may have 5 or 6 finalists. 3 of us have listened to your applause. We are going to select 2 apiece to go out there to dance for the final. So there may be 5 or 6, but we may select the same one also. But it's the way we heard you applaud. So Norman, would you select 2? John, select 2, and I'll select 2. Those 6 that were received, now they're going to dance. They're going to dance, and we're getting to the final. I want to tell the young men that weren't selected something. You know, even though you weren't selected to dance this time, you're all champions. I'll tell you, when you've learned to dance the way that you've danced and demonstrate that you're holding on to those things that belong to us, that were saved for us by our elders, you make everybody so very, very proud. And we want to say that you're all winners. Everybody's a winner here. All right, these finalists now. Again, we want you to dance, and when we finish, you line up out in front here. Line up out in front. After you dance, you line up on this line right here. Okay, Norman? This is a final or semi-final. Time, spread out a little bit. We're going to do this a little bit more randomly. Norman, I want you to stand behind the dancers. Dancers, look out this way so they won't see. When Norman stands and raises his hand behind a dancer, that's the one we want you to applaud for. Don't do it in order this time. Walk down and kind of select them randomly. When he raises his hand, he wants you to applaud for that dancer that's right in front of him. You all got that? That's good. Hey, must have went to Lafayette Central High School. All right.
Hey, kids, you, come on, you're right in front of the camera. You're right in front of the camera. Go around there. Go on the other side. Go on the other side.
There's four. This one, the N1, and that one right there, yes. The rest of three, would you step back, please? Would you step back? You selected four that were close enough together. Now, we hope that we come to the finals of this one. And then we'll see. You're going to dance again. One more time. Maybe two, maybe three. Who knows? All right. This is the one now. All the money. Stay up here, you four. I want you to clap for them in order this time because we're kind of at the end and I want you to keep in line. The first dancer at that end, step forward. The next dancer, step forward. The fourth dancer, step forward. The fourth dancer, step forward. We have two of them. They're going to have to dance. You screamed and clapped and yelled and stomped your feet. All right. One time. Shake the hand. Shake my hand. Two of you. Now, there's only two of them, so I want you to clap and scream and yell. Don't throw anything. For who you think was the best answer for the championship. First answer, right there.